Hey, how's it going, folks? It's Francisco again, and we're going to continue with the Pomodoro timer. This one, you can skip over this video. It's just going to be well, with the exception of one key feature, it's just going to be mostly um, making some nice CSS changes so we can essentially get it to look nicer, do some cool stuff whenever we actually complete. I'm gonna wing this one. Haven't planned anything, but I do remember that Bootstrap happens to have background colors. Excuse me. I was cooking with some jalapenos, and wow, I still feel it in my throat. Anyways, so we're gonna use the BG primary, the BG danger, and the BG info whenever we're switching states. Um, so let's do that. Okay, so we'll go ahead and go down here and we'll just look at our container. And if we go to BG primary, let's see if that changes anything. Okay, so that's not it. Okay, so what we don't want to just change this. We want to change the whole application. So let's save this and let's go to, I guess we're gonna have to go to index and then React app, and then we can do class. Okay, and I think this should change the entire thing. Nope. Okay, let's look at Control-Shift-I. Let's move the inspector over to, I gotta stop fixing these. So to the right. Okay, this is body. This is HTML. Okay, we need to figure out what exactly is okay. So that's not good. Okay, so there is nothing that is wrapping everything. So ID root. Okay. So that's where we kind of run into the issue, is that we don't have anything that is getting the root. So root render. Okay, so this is what it should be. So maybe I did something wrong here. Class name. Let's do this. Okay, this is a little bit slower than I thought. I should probably give this VM more horsepower. Okay. That's weird. Okay, so I guess if I go back to here, okay, I don't, so React. So maybe what I can do is I can put this in a div. I can put this over in a div, and then maybe I can put my app in here, nest it here. Hopefully it doesn't break anything. So far, so good. Div root. Okay, then we have another div. Okay. So for this, let's do class name and then background info. Okay. So same deal with this where we have to set. So I think if we can make it span the entire application, I think we'll be fine. So the way that we could do this is that there might be a utility to have it set to VH, I guess vertical height 100, so that's VH 100. So let's see if we can find some documentation on that. So let's go and look for it here. Okay, so I tried the Bootstrap and it wasn't working for me. So just so we have something set up over here, we're gonna learn something about using inline styles with React. So you can just insert inline styles by by typing in style, and then you have your bracket, and you're gonna type in another bracket for that style attribute that you're gonna use. So we're gonna do. Whoop, am I even typing here? We're going to change the height over here to 100, and you have to type in quotation marks for your for what the height you want to be. So if you want to do position relative, you have to type it in quotation marks or anything like that. So anything that is the value of your identifier, you're going to have to just type it in quotations. So all your values are in quotations. Cool. So now if we go back and look, so our main wrapper is now in full height. So cool. So now it's cool. It's not white anymore. But I think maybe I do not like this color. So maybe what I can do is I can since I'm gonna just do it this way, let's remove this style right here, and what we can do, I don't really know if I like this, but let's go ahead and just remove it. Actually, yeah, let's remove this. I'm messing it up. All right, let's remove this. Let's go back here and let's let's put the style here. Let's see if we can change this over here. All right, so our container is the max height. Okay, the problem is that we have padding here. So that's an issue. So if we were to do something like background danger, I think this is what we're looking for. It won't get the entire application. So let's see what exactly it is that's giving us this this padding here. You know what? Let's just remove this and not try to mess with what Bootstrap is styling. And I'll just do this div right here. I can't autocomplete. And I'll do ID. Color. And then I'll. Oh. Looks like the computer froze. The VM froze. Not cool. Okay, the VM got back to VM, so that's good. Now we just gotta go back here and put Control, cut, and save. And I should probably fix it this one, but I probably can't. Water break real quick. Okay, so, geez, this is not going away, is it? Let's go ahead and run our development server one more time. And oh yeah, it's gonna grind to a halt. I should probably make a new video on virtualization and allocating enough space and resources for your VMs, because this is slow. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna do. Cool thing, if this was Windows, I probably would have lost everything. So that's good. All right, so I do have my div here, and I'll go ahead and do style equals, and then height, and then 100 VH. I should have that. And I think I can do background, and oops, that was horrible. And I can probably get a hex color, and I want like an orangey color. Oh yeah, I cannot paste from my main computer, so let's do this. 83832. Okay, let's look at it. Okay, cool. It's, yeah, oh man, it's kind of gross. Let's do this color instead. F7 DCDA. That's a little better. I can live with this. All right. So that's our default color. And what we're going to do is we're going to want to change the value of this color. So if we... So the cool thing about background is essentially this is just a string. And the cool thing is that we can change the string value over here. So what I can do is I can set this constant to background color set. Do you know where I'm going with this? So I'm gonna make this a state, and the default state of this is going to be this hex code. And I'll do this, and I'll go ahead and reference it back over here. And let me make sure I did paste it. Okay, cool. So now I should still have it here. And now whenever I am on not break, I'm gonna change it. So I'm gonna set and I kind of want this to be like a light bluish color. So let's do EAF7 and let me just paste this one back. So whenever we do go back to our regular interval, cool. All right. So there we go. So what we did right now is just to kind of go over, we encapsulated our entire application into another div, which essentially has a height of 100. So it's a full document height, and we have a background color inserted also in inline styling, and it's referencing our background color state. So the state changes according whether or not we're on break or not. So if we're having active interval, we're going to be like a light red and then a light blue if we're on break. So let's give it a try. Okay. So that's working. And I should probably reset, go all the way to 0, and that should trigger a break. All right, cool. So now we triggered the break, and then we see that the background changed into a light blue. So that's cool. It gives us some kind of feedback to let us know that, hey, we're in a different state. We're taking a break right now. So that's cool. It did what we wanted to do. Now, I don't know if y'all added an additional sound, but I think that whole sound, if you added a different sound, it's going to make it sound really cool, and it's going to give it like a lot of more like user feedback to let you know that, hey, you're on a break, just besides it being silent. I mean, either way works, but let's go ahead and now do something different. The thing that we don't have yet is we don't have interval tracking for whenever we're on our fourth. So whenever we're on our fourth break, if this is I think our third, we should take the 25-minute. No, it should be our fourth, our 25-minute break. So let's go ahead and go look into this. Okay, so we're gonna go into our main loop here, our main use effect cycle, and we are gonna keep track. So okay, so this is where we'll have to do this. We're gonna have to embed another if statement, and I think else. So it should be in multiples of 4. So we'll have to look for if break interval, or it should be work interval. So if work interval modulo 4 equals 0. So what this means, and if you don't know what modulo does, and I kind of giggled to myself because it is covered in another YouTube playlist that I made, and if you need help with the basic JavaScript stuff, like, hey, what does modulo do? How are we getting this comparison? Go ahead and check it out. It's a very useful resource. But essentially what it does is if there's anything left over, so if you can't divide this by 4, you'll get a remainder. So we don't want that. And let me rephrase that. Okay. So just to make it as clear and concise as I can make it, is if this number is not divisible by 4, it won't give us 0. So once we get to 4, it should be divisible by 4. Excuse me. So we'll get 0. And this is how we know we want to set our time to 25. So I'll go ahead and do this right here. And we'll set this to our break time on 25. All right, so let's go back. And okay, this is within our on break here. And on break true. Okay. Now let's go back to our application. And okay, it's still running, so we'll go ahead and pause it for a bit. Okay, 4 seconds should be enough. All right, so let's go ahead and I wish there was a way for me to mess with the state. So, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just manually run all of these, and hopefully we can get to the point. Okay, so I noticed a few things is that the clock loop.start is not a function. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this right here. And as you can see, I'm only getting one. And I'm getting one work interval, but I'm not getting any, but I'm continuing my break intervals. So there's obviously an issue here. And I was doing some math, and then I realized, oh, if I have 0 and I multiply, I mean, if I get the modulo of 4 of 0, I'm still going to get a remainder of 0. So I went back here and I adjusted my logic right here to also include if work interval is greater than 0 and the work interval is also does not have a remainder. So that should catch all. It did go on break because of the color was setting on the right one. So that's what it should be. And I should probably set on break true as the last one. I should still set on break, and I think maybe the where we place this may be an issue as well. So and here instead of play, we'll change this over to clockwork play. Actually, that should be it. If break. Okay, pause. Okay, we should probably do this, pause, and then play here. Okay, I think that's how we want to set it. Reset timer. Okay. Let's go ahead and just refresh our application here. That should fix most of our issues. And let's go start from 0. Should. Cool. All right. Okay, so now fast forward a little bit. We should change our interval now. And okay, cool. All right, so I think we fixed that issue there. Okay, so now let's go ahead and fast. Excuse me. I'm gonna have to bloop that one out or something because let's fast forward a little bit, and I need some water. Okay, now's the moment of truth. Oh wait, I'm so sleep deprived. We actually went on break. This is okay. This one should be the last one, and I totally missed that one. All right, so now that we completed our I think fifth one, then now it's doing its thing. So I think maybe what we want to do is do it on intervals of 3, I think. That way, when we're on our 4th one, because I think doing 5 of these may be too much, but I mean, it's up to you. I think it's fine. I'll just actually, you know what? I'll do it at 3, because I think keeping it at 4 intervals is perfect. So Let's do that. Okay, cool. So there you go. That should be the entirety of what we want the application to do right now. If you want to line up your tomatoes as a number, instead of like having numbers, just have the tomatoes. Actually, this will be like a bonus. So what you can do is go over here and what you can do is you can do an interval here, and you can do like a map. Excuse me. So what you can do here is we'll have this, and then we'll do this. Let's go ahead and let's keep this on the side, and we'll do array from, and then we'll do array work interval, and do this, and we'll go ahead and okay, and we'll just keep this tomato here. What's the issue here? Oh, I don't have a return. Return. Oh, okay, that's not good. I'm trying to copy this tomato. Oh, I guess it wants something here. We'll keep the tomato in there. And that should be right. I don't think we have array from, oh, okay, that's a problem. I have too many. Okay. And I don't really need, I just need index here. And if we go back here, there we go. We have the tomatoes. So it's pretty much what we did is we used the array method and the methods in arrays, and then we just plugged in our number here, and then just based on the, and this is just an index, based on the number that we have, we're gonna just put our tomatoes out here. And I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not really a fan, but we can kind of copy this over as well. So let's, maybe if we match it with our break interval, we should be fine. And then we'll do this. All right. I mean, that's not bad if it didn't push out our actual Pomodoro timer. So yeah, I'm just gonna change it back. That wasn't really what I wanted to look like. But if you want to just do tomatoes, you can do that. And nope, I went too far, didn't I? You can do that instead of just having the numbers here. So that should be it, y'all. Do as you wish. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to talk about Docker. So if you want to deploy this on AWS, I will show you how to do that. I am also going to start an AWS course as well to get your developer certification. So at first, I'll kind of get you started with getting to know AWS. How do you, what's EC2? What's what's a Lambda function? What's the domain? How to use a domain registry there? 53, I think it's what it's called. How do I direct internet traffic to my EC2 instance, security groups and all that jazz. So we'll get you started. So this is probably like a good introduction to AWS, and then you can deep dive into doing different things as well. So cool. I am looking forward to seeing you all on the next video. Hopefully I'm not dying from my cooking on the next video and you won't get these weird interruptions. See you there. Bye.